The Epstein files should have been in your hands over a month ago. Donald Trump signed the law promising total transparency. The deadline was December 19th. But today, only 1% of the documents have been released. More than 2 million pages remain hidden. The Department of Justice is openly violating federal law. If you want to understand what's happening behind the scenes of power, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video. The Epstein case revealed something fundamental about how power operates in Washington. When elites are threatened, laws simply cease to matter. In November 2025, Congress passed the Epstein Transparency Act by an overwhelming bipartisan majority. There were 427 votes in favor in the House, unanimous approval in the Senate. Donald Trump signed the law giving the Department of Justice 30 days to release all files. The deadline expired on December 19th. We're in January 2026, and less than 1% of the documents have been released. We're not talking about a bureaucratic failure. According to a letter sent by the Department of Justice itself to federal judge Paul Engelmeyer, more than 2 million documents remain in various stages of review and redaction. Only 12,285 documents have been released. The department claims it needs 400 attorneys working full-time. If we maintain this pace, the complete release will take 8 years. Trump will no longer be in office when that happens. Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche argue they need to protect victims. It's a valid argument in theory. The law permits redactions to protect victim identities, child abuse material, and national security information. But the documents released so far show entirely blacked out pages without explanation. Epstein survivors have denounced that their identities were not adequately protected, while crucial information about perpetrators was completely concealed. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer accused the administration of a cover-up. He highlighted that the Department of Justice also failed to provide Congress with a legally required list of all political figures and government officials mentioned in the files. Schumer questioned, what are they trying to hide? It's not just Democrats asking questions. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie and Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, who co-sponsored the law, are considering suing Bondi for contempt of Congress. A CNN poll showed that 2/3 of Americans believe the government is intentionally withholding information. Only 6% are satisfied with what has been released. Bill Barr emerges as a central figure in this narrative. As Attorney General during Trump's first term, Barr was in command when Epstein died in federal custody in August 2019. He promised a rigorous investigation. He said he personally reviewed 11 hours of prison footage and concluded that Epstein committed suicide. But subsequent analyses by CBS News revealed inconsistencies between what Barr claimed and what the images actually show. A stairway leading to Epstein's cell is almost completely out of camera range. In August 2025, Barr was subpoenaed to testify before the House Oversight Committee. His testimony was revealing not for what he said, but for what he didn't say. Barr claimed to have limited knowledge of the Epstein investigation. He could not exonerate Trump from wrongdoing. He confirmed that contact between Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, with her subsequent prison transfer, was extremely unusual. He could not recall any non-prosecution agreement comparable to the one given to Epstein by Alex Acosta, who served as Trump's labor secretary. What Barr knew and when he knew it are central questions. The Wall Street Journal reported that in May 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi informed Trump that his name appeared in the Epstein files. According to the report, Bondi said the files contained unverified rumors about Trump and others, as well as child pornography and information identifying Epstein's victims. Officials advised that the files not be released. After that briefing, Trump radically changed his stance on releasing the documents. For months, Trump resisted the Epstein Transparency Act, calling it a Democratic hoax. In a meeting in the White House Situation Room, Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel pressured Republican congressmen to abandon the bill. Trump himself stated publicly that you keep insisting on the Epstein files, and what the Epstein files are is a Democratic hoax. But public pressure became unsustainable. When it became clear that Congress had sufficient votes, Trump backed down and signed the law, immediately claiming that Democrats were using Epstein to distract from his incredible wins. The selective release of the files reveals a concerning pattern. Released documents show evidence that Trump flew on Epstein's private jet multiple times in the 1990s. The Department of Justice subpoenaed Mar-a-Lago before Ghislaine Maxwell's trial in 2021. A tip to the FBI included in the documents alleged that Trump witnessed a homicide related to Epstein's trafficking network. The department quickly stated that this specific tip was unverified, but did not explain why massive redactions cover other sections of the documents. The Department of Justice released and then removed photos of Trump, citing the need for additional review. This action generated suspicions that documents are being sanitized to protect specific political figures. Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, publicly alleged that he heard from a reliable source that there is a coordinated cover-up to clean the files and remove Republican names. While this allegation is unverified, it reflects widespread distrust about the process. Democratic congressmen on the Oversight Committee accused the Department of Justice of ignoring subpoenas and violating the law. Robert Garcia, the ranking Democrat on the committee, said that in no way did Bill Barr's testimony change the direction of this case, and that Barr failed to exonerate President Trump from wrongdoing. Garcia asked the committee chairman, James Comer, to release the complete unedited transcript of Barr's testimony to the public. MAGA-aligned Republicans are trying to shift focus to Bill and Hillary Clinton. The Oversight Committee voted to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress after they refused to testify about Bill Clinton's relationship with Epstein. It's an understandable political strategy, but it cannot obscure the fact that the Trump administration itself is violating a clear federal law. If Clinton or anyone else was involved in Epstein's crimes, that should be fully investigated. But that investigation cannot be used as a smokescreen to protect others. FBI Director Kash Patel told the Senate there is no credible information that Epstein trafficked women to anyone besides himself. This statement contradicts years of victim testimony and civil lawsuits. Senator John Kennedy, a Republican from Louisiana, told Patel that his explanation would hardly satisfy demands for transparency. Kennedy articulated the central question. The central question for the American people is this. They know Epstein trafficked young women for sex with himself, but they want to know who else he trafficked those women to. The Epstein files aren't just about a dead sexual predator. They're about how power protects itself. They're about whether laws apply equally to everyone or whether there are citizens above the law. Trump promised transparency and signed a law requiring it. His Department of Justice is openly violating that law. If this matter is important to you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and comment your opinion on this flagrant violation of federal law. Transparency will only happen if we keep demanding it.